one of the least used and most important things you can use in a fight. You have sharp, hard edges on your arms that cover a lot of surface area. So when they hit, generally it's almost hard to miss. The problem is people use them wrong because they don't have good body mechanics to back it up. So there's a couple things you got to understand about this. When you use your forearms, there's a range for it. Punch range, elbow range, forearm range. And it's a tweener range. And people struggle with that because they practice punching and elbowing, but they don't really practice that middle range. Now, here's how this works. You have to structurally understand how your body works to make a forearm effective. So most people, when they use a forearm, they go like this. So they hit this way. Here's the problem with that. There is nothing behind there to support it. If I punch you, there is a support system behind that. This is just kind of a flick. It doesn't do anything. Where people lack forearms is they lack rotation. Rotation comes from the fact that I throw this out and then it rotates like this. As the rotation happens, it creates structure through my system to make this very solid. If I'm like this and he walks at me, he's going to fold my arm up. If I rotate and lock these ligaments and tendons at him, right, if he comes at me hard, it doesn't matter. I have structure to hit. You should have learned these, if you did traditional martial arts, by doing traditional work. Right? Traditional work has these rotations that allows this structure to happen. It adds power to your hip versus flicking like this. If I take this and I rotate and explode through it, there's like a bang on it with this rotation, there's a snap, and that snap creates a lot of power. So when you do this, you have to be very cautious of the fact that as he comes in towards me, if I'm late, this is going to fold, and I'm not going to get the structure that I want. At that point, it becomes an elbow or you move. But if I catch him early enough, this comes like this, and I just come through his neck. This could also be done to the body. It can be done to the rib cage. If I'm just trying to create space, right? If I'm just trying to open up like this to open something up. They're very, also, keep in mind you can also do them this way. People throw a lot of ridge hands. Believe it or not, it probably hurts more if you throw it as the bone. And the same thing, when I do this, there should be rotation on it. It's not just like a pull like this, like it rotates. Realistically, it rotates and finishes, but at a basic level, it rotates this way. So why do you use these and when? Ideally, I would almost always want to punch him. If he's walking to me, I want to hit him. I have more control of my hands. I have better distance. But sometimes you end up in things and people run in on you and you don't have position to punch. As he runs in, like I get jammed. You know? So ideally, if I can just get my hands out, bang, like this, and I can walk through him, a lot of times just this quick initial shock, especially in the neck, will set up my next work nicely. It doesn't always finish fights. It's not really meant to do that. It's meant to create space and to jar him and put him back. Now, the last thing I want to mention on this is important, is I don't just sit here and hit him. Like a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll run. They'll do one of two things. They'll plant into the ground and they'll let him run at you and they'll try and just stop him from the root. Other people will harden up like this and just run at them. That Superman thing they do, they just want to go like this. To me, I like to spring from my feet. What I like to do is I like to get into this thing and I like to explode into people like this. But if you hear that pop, it's not like this where you just run at them tight. To me, there's like a wave at the end of this thing. So as I do it slow, as I launch at him, this thing is going to kind of explode like this into his neck. There's going to be a bang like that. And I want to pop at him like this. There's an explosion coming in. So he gets all the momentum from my feet, but he also gets the wave from my body, and it really makes this a devastating strike. How do you practice it? You practice it by not killing each other. You're hitting each other in the neck. Be smart. Go slow. It's a drill. This is not a fight. It's not meant to be. Get into positions. Start wrestling a little bit, and every once in a while go like that. See how that forearm fits in the gap. See how like I come in and the forearm fits, and you want to get used to just doing this as an experiment to see where it fits and where it belongs. You know, you can pick it up later, you can make it faster, but again, remember where you're going and what you're hitting with. Don't be silly about it. Understand it's a drill. So take your time. Me personally, I always try to move a little bit to a side. When he comes at me, I'm not trying to do this because the angle is funny. To me, I like to kind of sidestep a little bit and come in. Anytime I can sidestep and come in, it's better. Even on these, I prefer to sidestep and come that way because it's just easier for me to do. And then when you get good with this, do yourself a favor and learn how to finish up with it. He comes in, I blast him. So look, I create space, good. Here comes the other one. Because I hit him somewhere not nice, and he went back. And that gives me a chance to use all my other tools. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments. Feel free to share. It helps the channel grow.